Is that good? Hi guys, happy Saturday. Mambo VP. Let me put my plan. The plan. There you go. No. There you go. This is lighting incense. Okay guys. Hi, how are you guys? Mambo VP Zatangu last week. I hope you're good. I hope last week treated you gently. Karibu sana. Welcome to our morning meditation. Kanami session. Because today nimeamka na I have morning anxiety. It's very terrible leo. So I had to wear my anxiety ring. So I got this gift from I get gifts. I got this gift from my little brother. Annoying, but sweet. Annoying, but sweet. Anyway, so because I don't feel settled for today, so I would love to start with a meditation. So for those who are new, karibu sana. Hi, my name is Angel. I am a soul. I am a curious soul, very passionate, and I advocate for mental health because from my journey, I learned in the hard way kwamba mental health is very important in one's life. Very important. That's like the founding principle of a healthy life. It starts mentally. So yeah, I thought it best to create a platform where we can talk and discuss about mental health issues. And I can share with you my story. I can share with you the tips that I've learned that will help. So yeah, before anything today, I'm like, not okay. Not okay, Nani. Morning anxieties. It's busy, loud. It's unusually busy. So anyway, I thought tungeanza na meditation and then we can go to our talk and our part of the session. So I have with me pineapple. This I am not advertising, I'm just showing you guys because for those who might be interested, this is simple incense ambayo you can get anywhere from the supermarket, I think. Sana supermarket because I got this from Shoppers. Especially the pineapple. Very nice. I would love to refer you to take or suggest or what is the other word for I'd refer you to this incense. And I also got this beautiful gift from my mother-in-law. My future mother-in-law. Oh, she's so sweet. She gave me this and I'm like, oh, I like burning incense. So yeah, today tunazungumzia relationship with self. I know myself. Do you know yourself? Brothers and sisters, do you know yourself? As we burn. Why am I burning incense again? Because for some strange reason it makes me relax. It makes me relax. When I smell it, it's like a reminder. It's a nice smell, but too much. Oh gosh. It's like a reminder that I have the capacity of relaxing. I need to relax, and I can relax, and I will relax. So that's why I love burning incense. There. Remind me that it's possible. I can relax. It's okay. It's okay. Let me put this down. So, yeah. Hope you can also relax. It'll be so fun if we'll be burning incense together. As I burn, you burn. Just like that. As I burn. And my head. Leave me alone. Anyway, so officially now I'm like opening like I got the incense, so I'm already in my mojo, in my mood. So guys, today we're going to talk about relationship with self. Relationship with self. I have a whole conversation, but first, that's a nice motorbike from the sound of it. Sorry, I get distracted. Maybe ADHD? I don't know. It's a spectrum. Anyway, so relationship with self. From our previous conversation, last time we talked about purpose. And I shared with you my take about purpose. And in my sharing, I opened up about my story. And there's something ambaye baada ya kuzungumza. For those who did not see it, I think it's in my channel. After this, you can watch so you can understand, or you can pause and watch it. I'll wait for you. Then you continue. For those who have already watched it, yeah. So when I highlighted my story about purpose and how I felt like there's a time where I felt like I didn't have any purpose, and the effects, like negative effects, when you feel like that. And I also talked about loneliness. I said purpose is for you to figure out. Nobody can tell you. But loneliness. I remember the loneliness. So after that live talk here last time, the few seconds after I finished, this morning anxiety is real. After the conversation, something hit me, and that's what led me to talk about relationship with self. It came to my realization kwamba pamoja na loneliness, or in loneliness, if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, that's when you feel lonely. That's when, even if you're surrounded by as many people in the world, you will still feel inside loneliness. So that's why I thought it's a good idea to talk about relationship with self. Because if you have a good relationship with self, the loneliness subsides. How? We'll talk about it later on. But for now, let us meditate. Let us meditate. Oh my God. Okay. So we'll have like let's say 5-10 minutes. We'll see where we will stop, wherever our soul and our brain and our minds and our bodies will take us. That's when we'll stop. But I'll make sure it's not that long, because we'll have to. So in this meditation, because bado for today we have not started talking about it. We have talked about a bit about the topic, but it's for the morning anxiety. So let's call it the morning anxiety meditation with self today. And maybe this practice inaweza kawasaidia, or it can help you to also learn or to view and observe how to deal with the morning anxiety or any anxiety. There's morning anxiety, there's an anxiety disorder. So for those who understand anxiety, is when you feel like something is wrong and you can feel it all the way from your tummy and your heart is going so quickly and you feel unrest. Yeah, that's it. So I think the breathing technique inasaidia sana in the morning anxiety, and I think that's the part where we need to focus more on, in the breathing. In this meditation, let us focus more on the breathing. I know in other meditation we like go to from an observer point of view, which we can still do, but to help get rid of this anxiety or just relax, let's have this meditation. Let's do the breath work. So breath work, first of all, sit straight, how can I say, upright, and then breathe from your tummy. Relax first of all. Breathe from your tummy all the way up, all the way up. Yeah, today is really powerful. Today is really, I was this close to like, can I do it? Can I not do it? Anyway, it's okay. So let me play our music. This is good. I like this one. This is nice. I like it. So we're going to breathe 4 seconds, the 4-second rule. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. That's what we're gonna do, and then I'll try another technique, but this for me it will also be my first time, so we'll try the quick one. So tuanze kwanza, let's start with the fold. Breathe in, to the quick one. I don't know how they call it, rhythmic, whatever it is, but it's quick, like. Let's try that. So let's go for 1 minute or however you would like. I think I'll go with an affirmation. I am okay. I am okay. I am okay. So breathe in, then I am okay. I am okay. I am relaxing. I am relaxing. I forgot my water. Water is good. Water is life. Should I go get it? Let me go get the water. I feel like I need to go and get the water. 1 minute. 1 minute, guys. Since I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm feeling much better. Most of the time when this happens is when sijapata muda kulala, if I don't get enough time to sleep. So you know how when there's something like happening the next day, when you have something important to do, like the next day, I don't know for you, but for me, I usually have, it's like an excitement, but it's also kind of like an anxiety. It's like, oh, I'm waiting. So I usually lack sleep, nashindwa kulala. For me, I think I slept around 1 or 2 o'clock last night. As much as I try to sleep, I cannot sleep. After that, because of that, when I wake up with anxiety. So for anyone experiencing that, I think that's Seth. It's a lot of distractions today, sorry. So for anyone experiencing anxiety, I think takeaway from our meditation is breath work helps, breathing. You get your airflow going in your body, in your mind. Also, affirmation, like talk to yourself. I am okay. I am okay. I am okay. And then the incense helped also. Incense helped. Na pia maji, water. Water just, it just helped me. Now that we're relaxed, let's go and dive in and zoom out. Dive in, zoom out in this topic about relationship with self. Hi guys, again. Now I can say hi nicely. Hi guys, I see you, I see you, I see you. Whenever I say I see you, what do I mean? When we see each other, kawaida, we look at each other based upon our body. Like the way you see me, based upon how I look. But do we see each other as souls? How many times do you view somebody else, not from the body, but from a soul level? Like you're a soul walking through life, earth. I see you because I am a soul walking through life. Oh, that made me very emotional. I'm very emotional. Yeah, so that's when nikisema I see you, that's what I mean. Like I see you from a soul level. I see you as my soul sister. I see you as my brother sister. Yeah. I see you as my soul brother, soul sister. I need to open for Seth. But anyway. So, yeah. I see you. Hiya, let's talk about relationship with self. In my journey, when I started seriously being in a journey of relationship with self, I really need to open for Seth. I'm sorry guys. Yani leo. Let me just open for Seth. 1 second. So, ili msinyone mwongo, this is Seth. We met her. I say the story is interesting. So my sister-in-law gave birth to a second son. The night we were coming back home, we found Seth na mdogo wake. Walikuwa wadogo, like kiddies. In the place where me and Mayu met, my fiance, near the office where we met, like the first time we met. This is when we found them, right after meeting our nephew for the first time. So, and Mayu's the one who was like, can we keep him? I was like, can we keep him? We are that type of people. But now Seth and our Toto are tattoo. I mean, we saw that coming, but and Mayu is like, nah, Mayu is a dog person. Mayu is a maple person, not cat person. Then we have now this weekend actually, we are going to take Seth and the kitties to Forever Living. It's an rescue shelter for animals in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam. So we're planning to, at least not to dump them, but at least they have an opportunity to find a home. And the kitties, maybe they'll meet their uncle, because their uncle the brother Tulimwai, he couldn't stay. He was a wild one, so we had to take him first. Anyway, so relationship with self. I'm sorry guys. today, but it is what it is. This is the real stuff. This is like the reality. Seth, I'm talking. Give me a minute, Basi. Give me a minute. Oh, okay. So, you remember that time when I said, since we're kids, we're told, or we end up having interactions na watu tofauti, parents, teachers, friends, work colleagues, as you go way up. And in these interactions, binadamu sio mti, lazima kuwe na, and everybody is going through something, so there must be that friction. And within that friction, within that conflict situation that each soul is going through, we tend to project the chaos that we have. The chaos that we have inside. I love listening to the early birds. I swear I have ADHD. I never thought. I really, because I'm now jumping. I'm noticing how I'm jumping from one thing to another and getting easily distracted. Ooh, but the birds, the early birds, I love that sound. So, where was I? I have different personalities. So, within the chaos and interaction of this chaos, we receive words, negative words. And maybe from what we did, mistakes that we do, because everybody's trying to figure themselves out. Everybody's trying to figure themselves out. It's not like nobody is certain, like sure about life. Like, I don't know, only God, I guess. But being human, that's the vulnerability. Kwamba, we don't know tomorrow. We're figuring ourselves out. This world is very unpredictable. Anything can happen anytime. So, yeah. In the midst of that, we receive negative talk from outsiders. When I say outsiders, anybody that is not you receive negative talk. And sometimes it's just because they're just being human, angry, upset, projecting, whatever it is, maybe not having a good day. But then we end up being affected by it. Sorry, somebody was passing. We end up being affected. And how do we get affected? Sorry, Jessica, do you have something? Okay. That's my brother. So many distractions today. So we end up being affected by it. And it's like waves, negative waves that we echo over and over and over and over and over and over again. Day after day, week after week, month after month. You just have constant negativity that we listen, that we watch, that we feel, and then we absorb this negativity. Our self absorbs it. And then mwisho wa siku, we end up being negative to ourselves. We absorb this negativity and we end up being negative to our own self. And from this negativity, we fail to have a healthy relationship with ourselves. That's when the struggle of self starts. The struggle of relationship with yourself starts. As we echo the negativity that we've been having all our life to ourselves. that happened to me, to that point where I became my own enemy. Sorry guys, I'm so emotional. Also the date as well. I became my own enemy. And that's the worst thing you can have in life. Like, heri na adui that you can see. But you being your own enemy, you know yourself. There's adui hakujui sana. Your own self knows your ins and outs, your yin and yang, your strength and your weakness. So if you can become your own enemy, that's the worst enemy you can ever have. Because that enemy knows you, knows each turn. You cannot run away. It's lethal. It can lead to death. It can. You become your own source of. I can attest to that. You know, when we talk about suicide, maybe because we never have that conversation because the victims, most of them end up gone. So we don't understand what led them, how it happened, what was happening. And sorry to anybody who has ever lost somebody from suicide. But if I can try to explain kidogo from my own experience, and I think some people also know, you know, some people are suicidal, the other people don't go all the way in. So you get this, that sio kwamba anataka. It's not like they want to. Nobody wants to end their life. It's unnatural. Nobody wants to do that. It is a conflict inside that you cannot explain. It's hard to explain to somebody else the battle that you have inside. Kumbuka, we are all unique. So the battle that I have inside is unique from your battle. So if I try to explain my battle from my own movie, remember last time we talked about newcomers, we talked about movies. Like, everybody's life is like a movie, and you are the starring. And if you want to understand better somebody, imagine that you are a supporting character in their movie and they're the starring. That kind of like bridges a gap between you two, and then una uwezo wa kumwelewa mtu kwa undani sana. So in my movie at that time, to try to explain to somebody now who has their own movie is hard, because everybody is focused on their own movie. And I mean, your whole life you've been as a star. It's unconscious. You unconsciously don't know that you are living in your own movie. And then when somebody comes and explains a new perspective or a new thing that you've never experienced the experience that they're going through, it's hard to understand. Up until you've experienced the same thing, that's when you can relate. And that's why kuna kitu kinaitwa trauma bond. Like, people bond because of the same trauma, because I understand what you went through, because I also went through. Then there's that bond, because there's that. So up until somebody goes through the same thing that you've gone through, atakuelewa. But for somebody who has not gone through the same thing that you've gone through, it's hard. And kumbuka, now we are unique. So the set of things that I have gone through is so different from the set of things that you have gone through, and vice versa. So hapo ndo tunapata shida ya kuelewana. If somebody talks about their issues, we don't have that deeper understanding from how they're talking, from the source, from the original. But we can try. If you view it on that level, on that movie perspective, it helps. That's why I use that to understand people's situation. So yeah, many of us have battles within ourselves, and you cannot blame yourself, because, as I said, since the minute you came to this world, the first thing was a slap on your butts. Welcome to Earth. Yeah! oh, she's alive, she's okay, everything is functioning, her nerves are okay. Just to be okay. So that's like a metaphor of life. Remember how last time I was talking about this earth and how personally I feel like this earth is ghetto. But that's the first thing. That's the reality of the world we live in. The first thing that happens when you come to this world is people to check that you're okay. Because this world will need you to be okay to survive. The doctor has to confirm with pain that you're okay. And it is the same pain that will teach us, that will ignite us to be whatever we are meant to be. If I didn't go through that experience, before I was like, why did I go? But now when you check, if I didn't go through that experience, I will not be here talking about this thing now. So it is this pain that makes us who we are, that shapes us. It's these experiences that shapes us to become strong and to be resilient and to live life. So, yeah, we have battles. We have battles within. It's real. Everybody's going through something internally. And that's why I recommend to be kind to people, because you don't know the battle somebody else is going through. With a few people that have opened up to me about their life, you're like, na ukimwona mtu anacheka like, I'm okay. But if you realize what they're going through, every day, this is a lesson, the big lesson that I've learned in life, that people go through things. Just be kind. You don't have an enemy. The greatest enemy is your inner me. And that's why we need to have a good relationship with self. So, knowing thyself, right after my experience, something just told me to dive into the subject, knowing thyself. At that time, I didn't know it's even a subject. But apparently in the spiritual community, knowing thyself they have this saying, knowing thyself is the beginning of wisdom. It's like the Bible saying the fear of the Lord, but this one is knowing thyself is the beginning. It's actually a thing. I just YouTube know thyself, and so many, from Alan Watts, from Carl Jung, some psychologists. It's from a spiritual and psychological level. Knowing thyself is very important, and a relationship with self is very important. By the way, just to highlight, the word psychology stems from the Greek word psyche, which means soul, and ology, which is the study of the soul. So generally, psychology is the study of the soul. So when I talk about mental health, I am also talking about the soul. And that's why I also talk about, I talk from a soul level as well. I see you from a soul level, because let's call a spade and not a big spoon. We are talking about the journey of a soul on planet Earth when you're talking about mental health, and the relationship of your soul with the dweller of the soul, or with the vessel of the soul. The vessel of the soul and the soul, that relationship. And I like the way Carl Jung is a very celebrated psychologist who came up with very many theories that actually help and make sense. And he's the one who talked about persona, shadow, consciousness. He was breaking it down very nicely, that we are divided into three. There's the persona, the mask that we wear so that we can fit in society. There's some parts of ourselves the society does not like or does not want us to portray. So we hide the bad parts of ourselves that society, we say it's bad because society does not acknowledge, but it's still ourselves. And then we put on this mask, the persona, to be embraced, to fit in society. So it's that battle between persona and shadow, and then in katikati kuna your consciousness, awareness that this is my persona and this is my shadow. Only you know, nobody else know. So that's one part of knowing thyself actually is understanding what is your persona and what is your shadow, the things that you're hiding behind the scene. Persona, shadow. So, and then at the end of the day, the most important thing is to know that either persona or the shadow, they're all parts of you. They're all parts of you. So embrace each part of yourself. And there's another way of looking at self. So within the study of soul, or from a soul level, kuna stages of a soul that each soul must go through. This is from Carl Jung, I believe, and it's called the dark night of the soul. Oh wait, it's not called the dark night of the soul, but the process goes to the dark night of the soul. So kuna the phases of the soul. There is the egg, the larva, the caterpillar, the pupa, and the adults. We come fresh as souls, like eggs, pure, innocent, call what you will. Then we become caterpillars, destructive, eating up vegetation so we can have enough nutrients in our body for the next stage, that is the larva. Egg, larva, pupa. The pupa is when the shell of the maggot. No, it's not maggot. Cocoon. When caterpillar, when it starts transforming into a butterfly, there's a stage katikati where it's enclosed in a cocoon, and in that enclosure it's dark. In that enclosure it's lonely. You're alone, because one day you are like this, eating, you're all over the place, and then another day you are alone. Yani ghafla, you're enclosed, you're alone, and your body is morphology, your body is changing, your body is breaking. I'm just imagining if I was a caterpillar in a cocoon and my body is breaking because I'm transforming into a complete different creature, and I am alone, and it's painful and it's confusing, and it's so that stage, egg, larva, pupa, the pupa stage. Many of the people go through the pupa stage and they think that there's a big problem, like, because it feels like you're dying. Literally, you feel like you are dying. Why? Because every concept, every belief, every structure, every program, everything that you thought was you is it's changing, it's breaking down so that you can create a new you. So this breakdown of everything, like everything of your essence is questioned. You question kila kitu in your life, and it's dark and it's lonely and it's painful. Everybody goes through, every soul must go through the phase. So most of the time when people are going through the dark night of the soul, they don't know that they're going through the dark night of the soul, and they just think that life is bad, like, oh my god, this is the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. But you're just going through a phase to distract and reconstruct yourself. I think I was in that stage. And once you successfully cross that stage, you go to the butterfly. You break out of your cocoon and you're like a butterfly. You're like, because you have this wisdom, because you have this authenticity, because now you know yourself. Because if you break out of the dark night of the soul, you come out different. You come out. If you survive the dark night of the soul, you must come out. It's a life-changing experience. That's why we have to go. It's like, it's nature. It's the nature of the soul. Like the way the butterfly goes to, that's why they symbol. Soul is actually symbolized by the butterfly. You remember psychology, the Greek word? So the symbolism of that, of the soul in psychology is butterfly. So it also explains that everybody must go through in their own way, in their own time. Wengine wanaweza experience through this when they're kids, wengine they can experience this when they're teenage, and others adults. Whatever, but you must go through it, and you have to be strong for that stage, because it breaks you down. Every bone is, then you become like you transform, you literally transform. So yeah, now if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, that stage will be very hard, because it's hard already. Just itself is just hard. So if you are hard on yourself together with the situation, it becomes bad. Kwa hivyo, yeah. Every day we change. Every day we change. Together with this phase, this process, kila siku tunabadilika kama nyoka. Like the way the snake sheds its skin after, like, I don't know, a month, 2 months, 3 months, depends with the snakes. But nyoka ana shed skin and then have a new fresh skin. We also go through that, but with our skin is ourselves, our essence. So you last week tofauti na you today, and tomorrow you will be different from yesterday, because every day there are experiences that shape us, that shed some parts of us, and that inatuongezea other parts of us. So we go through shedding seasonally, daily. So the you that you are yesterday is not the you now, and the you that you will be tomorrow is not the you now. So that's part of also knowing thyself. Understand that you shed every single day, and that's why you need to know what are your values. Ni nini that what makes me me? As much as I'm shedding, but what are the main things that always remain? Pale nita shed, I'll be different, I'll grow. But there's some values that are always me. The never changing parts of yourself. That is you. Yeah. So all this knowledge of self, everything came right after. It was 2018, and I actually became a vegan. I was a vegetarian for 1 year after. So 2019, yes, it was 2019, 2020, 2019, I was vegetarian whole year, like shedding myself, being different. Somebody advised me, the same person who helped me to come accidentally, it was accidental. It was a phone, no, it was not even a phone call. It was a text that saved my life. A text from a stranger who I met 2 years. Nile, hi, oh, hey. And then we just clicked, and then I never saw the stranger again for like 2 years. She was a BB from Germany. Very cool. I liked her. Like, we clicked. So it's like, exchange dials, and then I never saw her again. We never texted. But then that day, she texted me right when I was asking God, this is your last chance to save me. This is your last chance to show me, do I really deserve to live? Like, is there a purpose for me? Because I don't see a future. I'm not seeing any future. When I was thinking of the future, it was blank, like really blank. I cannot see. Opposed to now, when I see the future, I can see it. I can even draw. I can see, I can taste, I can smell, I can see it. But back then, it was black. Maybe that's why I was in the cocoon. Maybe it was just being in the cocoon and it's dark and you don't see anything and you're panicking. You're like, what the hell? I didn't know that I was going to break out. After this is when I started knowing, I said just something told me to look for know thyself, know thyself, know thyself. It was in my head. So when I started researching about knowing thyself is when I realized there's a dark night of the soul and there's this process, and I was like, I would have terminated my life without knowing that it was just a process. It was just a process. Imagine how many people do not know that, and they end up losing an opportunity to live a life beautiful, to have a beautiful experience. Because once you go through this, it's like it switches up, because you have already seen the dark side of life. You finished that part. You are going out, you're maturing out of it. Now you're going into a light. Now you're going to a life where you're aware of yourself. You have a relationship with yourself, and it's beautiful. The beautiful thing, achana na even romance. Romance is good. Loving other people is really nice. But loving yourself, my friends, it is loving yourself that will give you the ability to love somebody else. Anyway, I am seeing it's 51 minutes. I have to cut it short. I'm sorry, guys. But for today, let's just say kwamba it's an introduction. It's an introduction of relationship with self. And so far, I think I have talked about a good description on why you need a good relationship with yourself. And point number one, knowing thyself in having a good relationship. Like when you meet anybody, when you meet your parents for the first time, your babies, and it is that time you have with your mother. You feed from her, actually. It gives that connection, mother and child. And that's how the parent and the child start bonding. Breastfeeding is a bonding thing as well. So the more time you have, which if you're a mother, it's a long time per day, with the baby and the parent, they get to know each other. Like when you're breastfeeding, you see the eyes of the baby and you see, how do I know? Yeah, I saw my mom doing that. So I I kind of learned a lot when I'm observing when my little brother was a little baby, and the whole process of a child and a parent. And you could see how for the breastfeeding, the bond that happens, opposed to society. And that's the part where I'm not judging you. I'm not telling you how to live your life. But mothers, if you're a mother, if you're going to be a mother, when you're breastfeeding, don't be on your phone. Because take that time. That's nature happening. It's meant to be. You need to have that relationship with your child. It's nature happening there. It's a process that you have to go through for your child to start having a good relationship with themselves. Because if I have a good bond with my parents, if you're newcomer and you have this woman and she calls herself a mother, your mother, you came from her, and you're now bonding and you're feeding from her. You fed from her in the stomach, but now you're feeding from her here. That's how you learn love. It's like, this is love. We learn love from our mothers. So for the new moms, try to reduce phone if you can. I know it's very destructive, but jitahidi. Have that bond. It's that bond that helps us baadaye tukiwa wakubwa. Sasa hivi it looks insignificant kwamba the parents, they think that watoto wanasahau. But I don't know about you. I can remember things when I was a kid. In detail. Don't do things to your kids thinking kwamba watasahau. Kids don't forget. As an adult, we don't forget. That's why we end up now going to therapy. Having these issues, because trauma comes from the past. It's called trauma. It's something you went through and it affected you deeply, and now that's the effect. So the child and parent relationship, very crucial in the relationship with self. Because if you have a good relationship with your parent, If you learn love from your parents are the first people on earth to teach you love, to guide you, to walk you through you being a new soul. If it's not healthy, you will not have a healthy relationship with yourself, because you will have a flawed way of perceiving love. You will have a hard time loving yourself. I believe it's in my opinion. So yeah, I just thought of putting that out there. So yeah, I think I'll continue this later because I have a lot to talk about. But before I leave, you remember this book? I was reading a certain chapter. The chapter is choose your people wisely. We'll talk about it in the next video, but there's something that I think will help you even in the next week. It's easy to talk about negativity. According to the National Science Foundation, an average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. 12 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Now, when we do the math per week, and then per month, and then per year, we have a lot of thoughts. So we have so many thoughts per day. Of those thoughts, 80% are negative. I am not lying to you. Why is it? 80%. 80% of these thoughts are negative. This was like, it was a big nani for me, but you are so far above average. So normally we have 12 to 60,000 thoughts per day. I love out of all those thoughts, out of all those 60,000, God knows how they come. 80% is negative, bro. So with that data, there's something that came to me. I keep talking about this in my social media, Instagram, that you are not your thoughts. We are not our thoughts. And the thoughts have an illusion in a way of lying to us and making us feel like what I'm thinking I am. No, they just come. There are 60,000 of them, thoughts coming every day, pa. And 80% are negative. So if I can use that amount, if I can use this and change it to positive thoughts, at least I say 80% of my thoughts be positive. Now that I know that the thoughts can create your reality, and it does, it will help me to have the possibility of changing my reality with just my thoughts. So the discipline of having positive thoughts can change your life. I just want to put that out there. Decide happy. You decide. You decide. You just decide. Anyway. Ooh. So, yeah. Thank you for having me. I am going to go. We have already meditated and everything. But before we go, there's this thing that I did with that mindset, or with that information that I've just disclosed about our thoughts. Many a times, and that's why the average human has 80% negative thoughts. Coming back to what I was talking in the beginning, ni kwamba we have 80% negative thoughts because 80% of our lives has been negative. 80% of the things that we get from people we hear, we see, we take, it's negative. We are surrounded by so much negativity, and that's why we become, or we have negative self-talk, or relationship with ourselves is negative because we have self-talk, negative self-talk. So what I did, because for me, being the best version of myself is the goal. Because if I am the best version of myself, I can be the best version to everybody. It's an advantage to not just me, but kila mtu ambaye ananizunguka. And maybe it's infectious. Maybe if you become the best version of yourself, and people can get that energy, and they can be the best version of themselves, so it becomes like a ripple effect of best versions of everybody. And that's why it's my goal to be the best version of myself, find my colors and color the world. So I come up with different strategies to help me. Once I am aware kwamba nina hii shida, I look for strategies to fix it, because I don't want to have this negativity. I want to be the best version of myself, not from a obsessed, oh let me do it, but no, I'll be gentle with myself. Nikianguka, I will understand and I'll be gentle, but the goal at the end of the day is to be the best version. So one among the things that I do, kuna kipindi you feel very negative and you cannot even give yourself a positivity, and you know those times, there are times when is getting real, like stuff is real, life is lifing, and you cannot even come up with anything negative. So what I did is I got some cards. This is called the angel cards. It's just normal cards, like normal karata, and then I write positive thoughts. For example, serve others and the universe will serve you. So I write positive thoughts, and then when I'm in that state where I cannot conceive anything positive, I use the cards. It's like namwaga positivity in physical things, so that the time where I cannot conceive positivity, I have a bank of positivity. I just shuffle, knowing that nothing comes by accident in this realm, in this dimension. That's a story for another day. But using that theory that nothing happens as an accident, everything has a meaning. In a spiritual sense, yeah, because I don't want to jump in. My ADHD, no. If I jump in, it will be 2 hours. So I shuffle. I have 2 decks actually. I have one deck that clarifies. It's like a clarifying card. I put actual things, and then I relate it with a message. So actual things with a message. So at the end of the day, I can come up, it's like I'm advising myself with the cards, with my own words. So I shuffle, make sure I shuffle with intention that please give me what I need today. Give me what I need. Give me the positivity I need. Just lift me up. So I shuffle like that. I think it's all shuffled. And then I have this deck and I have this deck. Yeah. And then what I do is I take one and I take another for clarification. So I think this is a very nice thing to do at the end of our video, so I can leave you guys with something positive, a gentle reminder, positive gentle reminder. That is not by accident, wink wink. So the first thing is cherish, value and miss. I like it's the laugh words. Cherish, value and miss. So I think it's cherish and value, just holding on to something, the value of something, cherish, value and miss. Then focus on the collective mission. Focus on the collective mission, or find your why. You remember last time we talked about purpose? And I actually think the title of the video was Finding Your Why. And you've seen that's the beauty, like these cards, nothing happens by accident. And that's why I love the cards, because it's not just, it's just my positive thoughts, but it's relevant. I can see like, yeah, I did it. It's something that highlight that I need to highlight, but I didn't know I need to highlight, or I forgot, or emphasizing to highlight. I'll have to make my own. I'll have to make my own. These are very nice mental health relievers for me. As I said, like that time when you don't have positivity to tell yourself, you don't see anything. You already created a bank of your own positivity. So the cards help you, and you don't have to force yourself to be positive. Like, whoa, okay, I get you. Whatever this is, whatever it's me. So yeah, cherish, value, and miss. Focus on the collective mission of find your why. I think, and it's 69. It's a very it's an interesting number for the spiritual community. Actually, it's like a yin yang reverse, the dark and the light. So one is the reverse and the other one's like a yin yang. 69. So it's balance. Maybe it's the balance of life. To have the balance of life, you need to stick to your purpose, and your purpose is collectively. You remember the purpose we're talking about, kulikuwa na 3 different types of purpose, and there's the collective purpose. So value. Maybe the message here is, I don't know for you, but for me, I feel like, you remember the way nimeanza na anxiety. If I had gotten these cards before, and I think I should have done that, but this would have also helped me and boosted me to realize, or to remember, or just to highlight, because when you're in this panic mode, common sense is not common. Like, your brain works in a different way, a negative way. That's why you're panicking. But if this was highlighted, that at the end of the day, what you're doing, Angel, or what you're doing, audience, whoever you're watching me, at the end of the day, if you already find your purpose, and if your purpose is for helping people, it's not just for you. Sio wewe tu ndo utafaidi, lakini watu wengi watafaidi from your purpose. That's a worthy purpose. That's something to cherish. That's something to cherish. That's something to value. That's something to boost you and give you the fuel to just, I'll do it. Even if I don't feel like doing it, I'll still do it. I'm gonna do it. Because I'm not just doing it for me, I'm doing it for anybody else who might come, who might find this very helpful, lives might change. You know, you can change a life, not from big things. You can change a life. Remember my story? Texts. Somebody texted me, and that's like, because it was the right time. I was like, God, I can't do this anymore. This is the last chance. I am here. I'm already done. And it's that bad. I'm already there. So do I really need to? I am not seeing a future. And then just a text from somebody that you met 2 years ago, it's not even close, changes your life. And all she said was, Angel, hi, are you okay? As if she was there, you understand the movie, kwamba, the concept of the movie, kwamba, in her movie, she was living her life. She did not know anything that was happening to my movie. She was just connecting her movie to my movie. And this connection created something huge that actually saved a life. That I think that to me was the part where I was like, if I continue doing this, then shida itakuwa mimi. Because if this is not a sign, I don't know what is. At that time I was lonely. Not lonely, but I was alone. And I guaranteed, because it was so many times I tried. So I had calculated the steps, and I calculated the SWOT analysis to make sure that this time I would be successful. Like, sitapata anything to take me out of my decision. Yet, that happened. So, yeah, you can save a life by just a text. You can save a life by just a text. You can save a life by just talking to somebody. Just giving somebody 5 seconds can save a life. 5 seconds can save a life. So, Finding your why, your purpose. That's why purpose is very important in relationship with self, because purpose is what will connect your soul, your ego, your shadow, your persona, all parts of you, your consciousness, your subconsciousness, to do something together, to go in the same direction, to sing one song. And once you do that, once you are one with all parts of you and you're singing the song, your brain and your heart is singing the same song for a noble quest. It's nothing can stop you. Ogopa mtu ambaye ana purpose na anajua purpose yake and is passionate to the purpose. Nothing can stop you. That's why it's very important to live a purpose-driven life. So, yeah. And if your purpose is more of not just you but other people, the greater the purpose, the greater the passion. Because it's not just for you. Kuna kipindi when if you're doing something for you, the time you get tired, you're like, I can't do this. But if you do something and you say, I'm not just doing it for myself, I'm also doing this for, it cannot be like a whole country, but maybe I'm doing this for my children. Maybe I'm doing this for, if you have something or to do this for, it gives you strength. It gives you extraordinary strength to push through. You keep going, keep going. And from the testimonies that I've seen from people, I see that element also inasaidia watu to keep moving forward, because sometimes somebody can tell you a story of what they're going through, like, how are you still alive? But if you have purpose, if you have something to fight for, something to live for, you get extraordinary strength. Shout outs to everybody who is struggling through something, and they're displaying huge amounts of strength because there's something they believe in. There's someone they believe, there's something. Shout outs to that. That's keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're getting there. It's gonna change. Nothing lasts forever. You're gonna change. Life is gonna change. It's gonna be okay. After a phase, after this phase, boom, you're gonna be a butterfly. From being a caterpillar, a walking destructive thing, to a beautiful, magnificent creature that flies and it's beautiful. Keep going. Life will be very, very, very beautiful. No matter what happened, your past does not define you. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Be the best version of yourself. Do the best you can for whatever day you have. Just do. So yeah, I like this. I wish you can. I'll definitely have to put this in our Amka Nami sessions. So yeah, it's 1 hour already. But I don't want to make it now. Sitaki kwa Malaysia MB. I think by now MB itakuwa imeenda. You can watch in intervals. But anyway, guys, kwa mtu yoyote ambaye atatazama this video, hi, thank you for watching up till now. I see you. You did not watch it by accident. Okay? You're meant to watch this either for you or for somebody you know. So share, if you can, this video to somebody who needs it. As I said before, I go for quality over quantity, because I know my message is not for everybody, but it's for somebody. It's for somebody. Just one person. You can change the world. So, yeah. Love you guys. Have a nice Saturday. It's a very nice weekend, I believe. Thank you so much for being with me and helping me out with my morning anxiety. Asante sana. Hope to see you next time. Sikio na moyo. You're not alone.